Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will present about the segmental reporting of Jasatiasa Holdings Berhad. We consist of 4 members, which is Syahira binti Ibrahim, it's me myself, Nur Hidayah binti Muhammad Adrus, Nur Syaira Izzati binti Naam, and Nur Aini binti A. Karim. This presentation consists of 4 parts, which is the first one is the company background of Jasatiasa Holdings Berhad, the management approach used by the company, the segmental report, and the conclusion of this presentation. First, we will talk about the company background of Jasatiasa Holdings Berhad. Jasatiasa Holdings Berhad is a company that produces preferred quality oil palm and timber. It is one of the fastest growing oil palm players in Malaysia with a land bank of over 83,000 hectares in the state of Sarawak, Malaysia. They are listed on the main board of Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad with an annual turnover of more than 1 billion ringgit. The vision of Jasatiasa Holdings Berhad is to be Malaysia's preferred producer of renewable and sustainable quality oil palm and wood-based products. And the mission for Jasatiasa Holdings Berhad is to create a strong, viable corporate entity, a first-choice employer, continuously improving by harnessing our resources of people, processes, and technology, contributing to the nation's development. Jasatiasa is derived from 2 Bahasa Malaysia words, which is Jasatiasa, which means success always. The principal activities of Jasatiasa Holdings Berhad are investment holding, second, oil palm plantation and crude palm oil milling, and third, the manufacturing and distribution of a wide range of high-quality timber products, including round logs, plywood, and rotary veneer. The other activities are reforestation and the management services. The company main focus are oil palm, whereas at 2015, the total area for crude palm oil mill are 83,480 hectares and it keeps increasing year by year. Despite various challenges such as MCO restrictions due to COVID-19, affecting labor recruitment, poor soil condition, and limited cash flow during the year, they are still under control and divisions achieve a turnaround. Fresh fruit bunch, which is FFB production for the year was 740,013 metric tons, a decrease of 3% over the preceding financial year. They expect crop output to grow at a sustainable pace as small palms are reaching production age. They are also focusing on wood-based manufacturing of a wide range of high-quality timber products including round logs, plywood, and rotary veneer, and successfully have 11 times the size of Singapore of timber processing area. The annual total production of processed wood products are exported to Asia Pacific, USA, Middle East, Europe, Latin America, and the Caribbean island. The reforestation is the group's strategic long-term asset that will sustain and maximize timber supply for the group's downstream production. The group's forest planted area has been expanding steadily. They are currently developing 3 licensed forest plantation covering a total land area of 235,859 hectares of reforestation area in Kapit region, Sarawak, of which 32,018 hectares have been planted.
My name is Nur Hidayah binti Muhammad Adrus, and I will explain about the management approach of Jasatiasa Holding Berhad. The first part is the factor to be considered to have segment reporting. For Jasatiasa Holding, the first factor is similar in nature of the product, which they produce oil palm and wood-based product that basically have the same nature. The second one is similar nature of the production process, where the company process the products from development of oil palm to oil mill, same as the process for extracting the logs and manufacturing wood products. The third one is the similarity of type or class or of customer for the product or services. The company customers are mostly the user of timber products and crude palm oil products such as Rimbunan Hijau General Trading Sdn Bhd and Borneo Edible Oil Sdn Bhd. The last factor is similar method used to distribute the product, where Jasatiasa exporting their products to other countries such as Taiwan, Middle East, China or Hong Kong and also Japan. This activity remained constant until the onset of the pandemic during MCO stages. The next part is the type of segment, which is the operating segment. So first one we have the oil palm, which is they develop the oil palm plantation. The next one is oil mill, where they process the palm oil. And the third one is logs trading, where extraction and sales of logs and development of planted trees. The next one is manufacturing and trading of sawn timber, plywood, veneer, blockboard and laminated wood. And on the others categories mainly comprises the provision of air transportation, fabrication and workshop services and also investment holding. So for the Chief Operating Decision Making or CODM is the selected responsible personnel that reviewed operating process result, but not necessarily a person that make the decision to allocate resources and assess the entity's performance. For Jasatiasa Holding, their CODM or Chief Operating Decision Making is their group's key management personnel because they review the segmental operating results on regular basis in order to make decision about resource allocation and performance assessment.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Nur Syahira Izzati binti Naam and I will present the segmental reporting for the year of 2020 of Jasatiasa Holding Berhad. For the business report, it will be analyzed by using quantitative 10% threshold test to classify whether the business segment is reportable or non-reportable. The 10% threshold test is calculated by using revenue, profit or loss, or assets. For our assignment project, we use revenue and assets in conducting the 10% threshold test. If the operating segment meet the 10% of the threshold test, it is classified as reportable segment. But if the operating segment does not meet the 10% threshold test, it is not qualified to be reportable segment. The non-reportable segment can be combined with other similar segments that are also below the threshold of significance for the purpose of meeting the 10% test, or it is included as an all other segments category. To conduct the revenue of 10% threshold test of the company, we must calculate the total revenue of all operating segment. And if the total revenue of one segment, which consists of external and inter segment, exceed the 10% from the total revenue of all reporting segment, the segment is classified to be reportable segment. As we can see at this company's report, based on the segment of oil palm, the percent after we divided between the revenue of one segment with the total revenue of all segment is 46.75%. Since 46.75% is exceeding the 10%, the oil palm segment is classified as reportable segment. Same goes to the oil mill, logs trading and timber manufacturing. These segments are classified as reportable segments too because the percent of each segment is exceeding of 10%. However, the calculated percent for other segment are less than 10%, which is 0.9%. Therefore, the segment is classified as non-reportable segments. Next, it is the 75% of the threshold test. After we have determined the reportable segment, we need to ensure that the total external revenue attributable to those reportable segment is at least 75% of the company's total revenue. For our company, we have 4 reportable segments, which are oil palm, oil mill, logs trading, and timber manufacturing. Firstly, we need to sum up the total external revenue of the reportable segment, and the total is 701,480,000 ringgit. The total will be divided with the total of external revenue of the company, which is 701,883,000. So it will get 99.9%. 99.9% is exceeding 75%. Therefore, the 4 reportable segment is remain as reportable segment, and there is no need to identify the additional reportable segment. For the assets test, it can be seen that there are 4 reportable segments, which are oil palm, oil mill, logs trading, and timber manufacturing. It is because these segments are exceeding 10% of the threshold test after the total asset of each segments were divided with the total asset of all segments of the company. However, there is one segment, which is other segment, that does not exceed the 10% of threshold test, amounted 3.15%, and it has been classified as non-reportable segment.
Hi, my name is Noaini binti Karim. I will proceed the presentation for the final parts, which is the conclusion. To conclude the report, there are some benefits or downside of the segment information towards the respective company. First of all, the advantages are indicate better of the company's performance, which means that Jasatiasa Holdings Berhad could access every each of their activities like oil palm and oil mill more effectively. Other than that, simplify some of the activities, risks and returns of the company. Jasatiasa Holdings Berhad's activities like reforestation needs to address some challenges to maximize their timber supplies production. For that, the company could assess the challenges that need to be solved. Despite of all the benefits or the upsides of the segment informations, it could be disadvantages to the companies also. First of all, not useful for financial statement users such as investors, since it could incur some difference of opinions at risk and returns of the segment information. Next, extra cost of expenses. To develop, prepare, and provide the segment informations, there could be some expenses to be used, since the company need to pay the personnel for preparing the statements. These are the advantages and disadvantages of the segment information towards the company. But mostly, the companies will ensure that they provided the segment information to the users, because it could be useful to the outsiders and insiders. That's all from us, from group that chose Jasatiasa Holdings Berhad as our report. Thank you for lending your ears.